Yeah, this is becoming an issue. Because that was not just a internet thing. That was a whole ass computer crash. So I'm completely unsure of what is actually. Well, I'm glad you're back. That was a whole ass computer crash. Like, I very simply tried to just, like, change a couple settings to just, like, try and smooth out a couple of the curves on my GPU and CPU usage. And it was just like, nah, bruh. None of that shit. And it just said, fuck you, and died. I've never had that happen before, because I've screwed around with my computer a fair amount. Doing stuff. Never done that to me before. But look, full health. Absolutely. You know, if I had homing, it would be amazing. Yeah, sure, I'll just fucking die because I can't. I'm gonna lose my mind. I hate to say it like this, but I'm genuinely getting very upset with how some of these streams have gone. I'm getting very upset with how some of these streams have gone simply because either it's computer or internet. I don't know what it is, and I have tried to diagnose it. I have tried to figure out what the hell is going on, why something's being caused, why, like, any of this is going on. And it doesn't, like, everything that I get told is like, oh, try this, try that, and I try it. And then the next time I stream, it just goes, actually, no. That's not the problem, because you're still getting crashes, you're still getting, you know, frames dropped, like, all this stuff is still happening. And it's like, okay, then, like, why? Like, extremely infuriating. Because, like, I know my computer's a little bit older. A little bit. Like, it's not super old. It's, like, 5 years. And, like, if I was playing, like, a really, like, high-stress game, like a game that, you know, required a huge amount of bandwidth and a huge amount of processing power and, like, all of that, I would understand. I'd be like, okay, yeah, that, it makes a little bit of sense that it might not want to work properly. It might make a little bit of sense. that it's, you know, maybe dropping frames or crashing a little bit or anything like that. But the fact that it's literally just me playing Binding of Isaac. Oh, it's a super tame game, and like that's the thing that annoys me. Is like, because I've streamed games that are much more bandwidth heavy and much more like graphics heavy. It's not like Doom or exactly. And yet, Doom and Sniper Elite seemed to do pretty good. So it's obviously not like the computer itself, it's something to do with the internet. But that's the thing that I've been trying to figure out, is because yeah, but it had a few crashes here and there. It did not have the amount of crashes that we just had. And that's the thing that I'm trying to get at, is like, it seems like every time this starts happening, it's like, it's substantial. Yeah. And again, that's not a lot considering we've had like 7 or 8 today playing this game. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. And like I keep making the joke that it feels like someone is in my internet router, like fucking with it, but I'm genuinely questioning whether I should try and go actually like into my internet router settings and try and like screw around with it and see if I can get into it and like change parameters. Well, because, like, that's the thing. Or, like, not even change parameters, but just, like, go in so I can see, like, oh, you know, has someone actually accessed this router? It has someone... Yes. And, like, that's the thing. Like, I would love to do that and just, like, forcefully make it so that I am the only person who can access the router like that. Because as of right now, as far as I know, the internet company that I'm buying my internet from has access, and that's how they're, like, changing the bandwidth that I'm pulling. Because that's a thing that happens. They can and will, if you are using up a shit ton of bandwidth, tank your bandwidth because it's annoying for them. And like one of the guys that I know, he's a friend of my father's. Was like straight up about it. He was like, "Oh yeah," because he used to work for an internet company. He was just like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing that happens all the time." I was like, why? And he was like, because they want to actually, like, they say that they have, like, X number of, like, bandwidth. Like, so they'll be like, okay, yeah, you can buy, you know, or you can get whatever, like, bandwidth number you want, right? Let's say a gig, up and down, right? But if they promise that to everybody, guess what? Their system can't actually handle it. And most people don't actually use a gig up and down. Like, they say they want, like super speed internet, but 90% of the time, like, what are you doing? You're watching a YouTube video. Or Netflix. Right? So, like, 90% of the time, you don't need that. So, a lot of the times, what the internet company will do is they'll just turn off that bit. So, they're like, oh yeah, like, technically, yes, you've said that you have a gig up and down, and yes, we're saying you have a gig up and down, but you're not using it, so we're not actually going to give it to you 90% of the time, right? And if you start using, like, a shit ton of bandwidth all the time, like streamers do, they get really pissy because you're actually taking up a shit ton of bandwidth that they want to try and, like, prove that they can give to, like, new people. So it's just, like, it's such a freaking, like, it's such a scam. And it makes me mad that if you say, hey, we can handle a gig up and down, and then you can't handle it, that's called false advertising, proof. And I don't know about the States. I'm pretty sure it's a thing in the States too. But, like, God, what I would give for that to be completely illegal here. Because, like, I would like to say I pay a fair amount of money for my internet to be good. And a lot of the times... Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. It's like, Panda gets what he pays for, and that's awesome. Like, genuinely, that is awesome. I wish we had rules like that in place. Where a company that says, we can supply you this, you know, level of bandwidth, actually had to supply it. Constantly and permanently. Ouch. Ah. The other thing is, the other people that live in this house, a lot of them don't actually use the internet very much. The only person that ever uses the internet is me. Oh yeah, no, it's super stupid that they have those stipulations where they can be like, oh, well, we need to have X number of, you know, bandwidth hours or whatever. Free. I don't know, like, it's starting to get to the point that I'm really tempted to become, like, a super squeaky wheel for, like, the company that's giving me internet. And just be like, hey, you guys have promised me a gig up and down. So how come 90% of the time when I go on to my computer and check, it's like barely like half of that? right? And just become a super squeaky wheel. I wonder how many times I would need to call for it to be more worth it for them to actually just give me the internet feed than it would be to, like, pay the person to keep answering the fucking phone. I genuinely wonder. I'm gonna take Monster Manual because he can actually generate some fun. But yeah, that's a genuine thing that I usually wonder about. See, and I don't know if it is. Like, that's the thing. I don't actually know if it is, because a lot of the times when, like, I go on and it's not that speed, it's like, okay. I understand that, like, if I'm not actively using the internet, like, let's say I'm, you know, never know, people never read the fine print. True. You are not wrong. I'm guilty of that just as much as, like, the next person. There is a lot of times that I do not read the fine print. And it's not good. Like, 110%. If you are entering a contract, you read the... Ooh, do we pick up Guppy's tail? Yeah, we do. We risk it for the biscuit. Oh my god, a golden key. Right after we got Guppy's tail. Fuck yes. Why do I always get this room, man? Why? It's such a crappy ass room. Bruh. There's so many freaking psychic bones just flying at my face. Please fucking stop it. Bro. Oh good, Sissy Longlegs. That's really, really, really useful. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Sissy Longlegs. She's adorable and funny. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will actually look through the contract. Because I would laugh very, very, very hard if it stated that they had to provide me with that internet, no questions asked. That would genuinely be something that I found hilarious. I doubt that's the case. I seriously doubt that that is the case. But it would be funny. Ooh. More HP, please. Thank you. I want to try and get this, the car battery too, because, you know, I'll get 2 monsters. Also, can I just say, Seraphim, like, is amazing. Seraphim is genuinely... Ow! I am back. I've been back for a little while, Moonglow. I've been trying to deal with probably some of the most annoying crashes on the planet, and I do not understand what in the ever-loving fuck is going on with. And it is definitely getting to the point of I'm genuinely debating rereading through my internet contract. So that I can see if they are actually allowed to, like, truck my internet like it appears that they're doing. Because if they're not, I'm going to have a real fun time explaining that to them. Or I'm debating just giving myself admin privilege, or like going in and getting admin privileges from the router, and then just fucking blocking anyone else from admin privileges. And being able to see who is actually accessing my internet all the time. Because if it turns out they're accessing my internet, like, constantly and checking on it, then I'm just gonna tell them, like, hey, don't. Whoa. fuck? Well, we might be dealing with another crash here right away. Because my computer just fucking kicked into high. Well, I'm glad you came back. We're doing so far so good. If these issues persist though, guys, like for today at least, if these issues persist, I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. I'm not gonna be streaming on Friday. I'm going to be busy, sadly, working. I might stream later in the day, depending on when I get home and everything else from work. But the general idea is that I'm going to be trying to... I'm going to try and keep streaming on Fridays, but if it looks like it's going to be like a very big hassle because it looks like I'm going to have work for the next couple weeks... Oh my god, it gave me Bob's fucking brain. Oh, Bob's brain's terrible. I have died to Bob's brain more times than I care to admit. I'll put it that way. Wow, I get this room at least once a fucking run. Why? It is such an absolutely terrible room. See? Bob's brain just killed me. This is why I don't like Bob's brain. Full health. Well, we know that's in the pool at least. Also, getting that room all the time sucks. Flat out, just sucks. We're gonna reset a couple times. See if I can reset some of my orange. I am also actually, I'm gonna go run upstairs. I gotta close some windows because it's getting hot here. Oh, excuse me. Could have walked away before it. True, I could have. I just don't like Bob's brain. Fuck Bob's brain. I'm gonna run upstairs real quick. I'm gonna run to the washroom. I'm gonna grab myself some more coffee. So I'm gonna be right back. And I'm also just gonna take a breath because the whole crashing and internet thing has started to give me a frickin' aneurysm. So, un momento, por favor. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. So I did do some Googling while I went upstairs. Yes, Canada uses internet caps. I checked to make sure that that was a thing. Jesus Christ. And they are allowed to cap your internet and throttle it. But one of the things that they're saying is, like, get a good VPN. Then they can't actually see what you're doing, and they're not able to your IP address to throttle your internet. Problem with a VPN is it disconnects me from chat all the time, which hurts a little bit. Ooh, triple shot. I'll actually take that. That's actually not a bad thing. I need to be less accurate. So I'm going to actually look into either finding a better VPN that doesn't do that. I've been paying for... I don't know if you guys have ever used a VPN, but I've been using NordVPN. But... Hello, Daniel! How are you? Welcome to stream. I need a key. Yes, I'm doing all my completion marks. And I'm doing them in order, which is probably going to annoy some people. But right now, I need to get to Boss Rush as Lazarus and beat Mother. I've been going through all the base characters originally. So, none of the alternate characters yet. Sans Bethany. I did do one completion mark with Bethany. Or Tainted Bethany. Just as, like, a curiosity, because I didn't know anything about them when I first unlocked the characters. So I did do one completion mark with Tainted Bethany. But other than that, I've been trying to stick to doing them in order. So Isaac and all those guys have been done. The only ones that I haven't been able to finish are the greedier mode ones. But that's mostly just because greedier is, like, an annoyance to unlock, and I've been slowly working on it in, like, my off time. But yeah, I've been dealing with some rather aggravating, internet issues over the last couple of weeks. And I've been trying to get it solved. So that's kind of what we've been talking about. Wow. I don't know how long I've been playing. Finally bought the game this year. Awesome. That always feels nice. Though I will state, we have one other person who comes in pretty often, Stool. He plays a pirated version of the game, and I'm gonna, like, I'll give my personal say on it. I don't think pirating a game is bad. There was someone talking about how, like, I can't remember, it was a post that showed up on Twitter, like, quite a while ago. That was talking about, like, someone was like, I love pirating indie games. And, like, the indie game developer, like, of said game that they were pirating was like, yeah, like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically saying, like, pirating a game, especially an indie game, like, sucks for the developer because they don't get money for it. But at the same time, you're still showing support for the developer by playing their game, right? I don't know, it was handled really well. Like, the guy talked about, or, like, the indie developer was like, they handled it really well and was like, yeah, like, I mean, it sucks that I'm not getting money for it, but at the same time, like, I'm glad that you're getting to enjoy my game. Like, to him, that was, like, to the studio, like, that was the more important thing. And I think that's, like, a really awesome, like, way to think about it. But at the same time, like, it's also, like, think about, like streamers, like me. Oh, yeah, 100%. My thoughts on it, though, are if you have to pirate a game because there are certain places in the world where buying a game, right, is, like, it's not a cheap thing, right? Like, like, sure, where I live in the world, buying Binding of Isaac for, you know, $40 for, like, all the DLC and, like, everything I can possibly, like, get my, like, grubby little hands on. Right? It's not that expensive. $40 is not insanely expensive. But in some places, like Brazil, like, it's literally, like a month's worth of, like, living expensive. Like, it's expensive. But, like, that's the thing, right? Like, I don't think pirating should be glorified, but I also think that we shouldn't live in a world where it's necessary for someone to enjoy a game for them to have to pirate it. I think it was Pirate Software, actually. He's a streamer. He did like, he talked about how, like, he was talking about pirating, like, games and, like, well, software, obviously, and, like, other things like that. And he was just talking about how, like, he's sad that it needs to be a thing. He was saying, like, it's super sad that we live in a society and live in a world where for someone to enjoy a game that they do truly enjoy and want to play, they have to, like, essentially steal it. Like, they have to do something illegal to get it. He was like, it's sad that that's the case. And I 110% agree. I think it's extremely sad that if we live in an environment where needing to pirate video games or pirate anything, like, I just think it's really sad. I would much rather live in a world where if you had something that you enjoyed, it was affordable, period. And it's one thing that I think that companies should start doing, because I think Steam actually does have settings for that. Like, for developers to be able to, like, say, like, okay, I want this game to cost this much in, like, Canada, the United States, whatever, but they want it to be the technical equal amount in whatever country it's being sold in. So, like, sure, it might be $40 for Isaac. Yeah, exactly. But it, so the reason piracy gets, like, hit pretty hard is because it falls under copyright law. Do I think the person doing the copying should be punished? 110%. Right? But I don't think the people benefiting from it should be punished as heavily because, like, they're just trying to do something that's been made available. That being said, like, there's different ways to think about it too, right? Like, I think personally that if people are going to be like, if especially like AAA game developers, yeah, I personally don't know about that, for me at least, because like if I wrote a book, right, I wouldn't want someone to be able to just like basically take the intellectual property and just be like, oh, this is now my book, right? Hey Panda, I'm glad you're back. I learned something rather annoying, Panda. It completely cripples innovation. I both agree and disagree. We've been dealing with a lot of dumb BS, Pan. Not from Daniel. I'm talking about like dumb BS in terms of like my internet crashing and a bunch of stuff going down and yada 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 yada. And I'm starting to get very annoyed with it. Yes, that 110% I agree with. When I say like certain patents, I'm talking more about like stories. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, and that's the difference, right? I think patenting certain things makes sense. Like, I'll be real with you. The company that I used to work for, Lightleaf Solar, had a specific intellectual patent on the oven that we used to make the solar panels. And that was completely necessary. Because the owner, like the guy that owns or owned Lightleaf Solar, had invented that oven. It was an intellectual patent. Or an intellectual property. As well as a patent. Right? That was completely necessary because all it would take is for like, for lack of a better term, China to get a hold of how we made our solar panels, and it would have been over. Like, the market would have been completely flooded by much cheaper and for lack of a better term, shittier solar panels. I agree, if someone can do it better. But here's the thing. A lot of the times, those intellectual property rights are more to stop people from just, like, taking something and running away with it. Right? I do understand it, but it does also bother me a lot. Because I've been on the receiving end of both ends of this spectrum. Because there are a couple things that I haven't patented, but they are specific to how I do, like, my blacksmithing, per se. And I'm one of the few people in the world that knows how to do this specific technique properly. Right? That makes me valuable to certain groups of people, which I would like to keep. Right? It makes me money. Right? And I understand that. And again, I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. I think that there are certain things that definitely need to be patented and copyrighted for a while. Ooh, I want this. What the fuck is this item? Guys, I've never seen this item. Oh, baby, we got Luckfoot. Whoa! Please tell me I'm not the only one that saw the that's astral projection. That's dope. I'm glad everyone's still in here. Even though I've had a relatively shitty time streaming. How many hours have I pumped into Isaac so far? You know what? Just because you've asked, I'm going to go and look exactly at what my hours are right now. My hours are 1,032.2 hours. What do you mean, what was I doing before? Shouldn't I have Dead God by now? No. I stopped playing for a long time, and I restarted. Oh, I've, like... These two, I had it, and then I got the new update. I had, like, everything done. I agree. The only reason I went the way I was going is because I had finished. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Fat Isaac? I just need more context. I very well could. Like, I'm assuming you're talking about... Like, I've got Jupiter and, like, all the planetarium stuff unlocked. Some hundreds of hours down the line. Fair. I kind of would like Black Candle. I'm gonna try and get the... Boom. Astral Projection's pretty broken, honestly. Like, you take a little bit of damage. Yes, I am. The only mod that I've got running is one that allows me to remove certain items. If they're really bad. So, like, say I walk into a room and it's got, like, a blind pick and it's Cursed Eye. Be running a lot of... That's nah. Oh, yeah, and I've got one other one. Don't forget Ascent. Yeah, I want to forget Ascent. I'm going to change it. As much as you like it, Panda, I'm going to change it. Dang it. Ooh, Repentance Plus would be so fun to do multiplayer. You ever want to... Ah. Also, Moonglow, if you ever want to do some multiplayer, just let me know. I am more than happy to do some goofy multiplayer and stream together. Thank you for the follow, Daniel. Work on your follower goal. Thank you. I tried doing multiplayer before with Keith, but I sucked ass. Dude, you were also severely out of practice. Like having stopwatch active all the time. Actually, yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. Also, Isaac Player managed to tell me the name of these fucking horrifying creations, these things right there, that kind of float around. Oh, then it could be real fun. We'll just try and get you some, like, really random-ass unlocks. How's your rigging game? What do you mean, rigging? Like, breaking the game? Is that what you're referring to? Like being able to force breaks? Panda, get the f out of here. Get your nasty ass out of here, Panda. You're nasty. Oh, I will probably have an aneurysm trying to play Tainted Lost. But naturally obedient, I felt called out. If I ever joined that cult, Moonglow, you have to know that mine would most likely be causes the most problems. One of my friends actually made a very funny comment, and I want to see how many people... Everyone also tried to make my character eat shit. Well... So far, that's the most causing problem. So here's the funny one, though. So one of my friends actually commented and was like, you know, the most accurate way they've ever described me is... I creatively problem solve solutions by creating different problems. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, because I am very good at problem solving. I'm extremely good at it. That might have something to do with a little bit of trauma, but never mind that thought process. But the fact that a lot of the times when I do solve problems, I also end up creating different ones. And sometimes in extremely, like, innocuous ways. Alright, I've got my VPN on. If this shit keeps happening, I'm gonna just probably lose it, but... What? I feel like Keith just looks at me like, I know what kind of man you are, I know what makes you cheer on the regular. Dude, I mean no offense. You are not that hard to figure out. I mean this in the most loving way possible. Your psychology is so straightforward. I know exactly what kind of book it is. Both of us know exactly. Fuck me, I hate guillotine. Yeah, no, I hate to tell you, Panda Maxi, I know exactly what kind of book you are. And it's the kind, that, sometimes has plot. And if anyone can read between the lines, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, stream's back. Ooh, small rock. I will take a look at them for sure. Oh, you absolute frick. What is this visual bug right here? But those aren't funny to make jokes about. Oh, I just fucking... I looked at chat and kept walking. Ah! That feels so stupid. Oh my god. How do you do a 9-hour stream, Moonglow? It would have survived if rigged harder, probably. How do you... No, not usually. I usually save the save that for Devil Deals just because I enjoy cheating Devil Deals more. Yeah, but then you end up losing all of your HP. Because, like, I can do this, sure. Right? I can just try and die. And sure, I get more damage, but then it goes away. Like, that's the thing. You don't get to keep these stats. And die again next floor. Very simple. Eh. That feels like a lie. He's being sarcastic. We all know exactly what kind of books Panda's personality gets found in. Panda's a goddamn liar. He knows. Panda, you're too distracting. I keep trying to, like, clap back at you, and I keep fucking getting distracted and dying. I'm not even mad about that, though. I'm genuinely not even, like, upset about that. Hold R 7 times. Oh. Maybe. We'll see. Is that, like, the secret number? Big surprise. Sure, we'll try it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. Apparently it is. I got luck up. I do know Lil is your spouse. And the fact that she got eaten by your zombie is kind of... Apparently 7's the lucky number. Oh, the R key. Yes. Not R key? Oh, then, no, I have no idea. I must have already unlocked it, but I have no idea what it unlocked. Very possibly. I do hold R key sometime. For a long time. Scared Heart, the one that... Yes, I've definitely unlocked those. I fucking hate them. Genuinely wish I had not unlocked it. No. I did not. I appreciate you thinking I'm such a shitter, though, Panda. Also, I have a question for everyone in chat, just because it's really stupid, but kind of funny. Dirty Minds here would be amazing. Dude, it would be fucking amazing. Question for everyone in chat, just because it's funny. I know Isaac Player has already answered this question, but do any of you... Oh, yes, I remember which one you're talking about. Do any of you know who the Russian Badger is on YouTube? Old name on YouTube. Yes, I know it is. But I'm wondering, does anyone know who they are? Or know who he is? Yeah, because he still makes videos. Bane, I'm in Minecraft! That's a yes. Dude, I love his videos. They're so fucking funny. But to be fair... Nope. We're doing that. I don't Planetarium Max because you can ask Panda for some ungodly reason. Yeah, Nodleaf. For some ungodly reason, I just get so many... I get so many planetarium, like 1% planetariums. I'm pretty sure it has genuinely given Panda an aneurysm at this point. If I get the money for it, I will do Mr. Me. Mr. Me's okay. Me and you have a different opinion of Mr. Me. I just don't end up using it. Free devil deals is okay. True. I tend to go for angel deals, though. I prefer them. I do like Mr. Me, don't get me wrong. I just like more options. Or... Tech Zero's hilarious. Tech Zero is essentially just Rainbow Worm for just tech. If I'm remembering correctly. Or is Tech Zero... No, Tech Zero is the one that is electricity between tiers. I can't remember which one it is. Tech 5 is Rainbow, right. Alright, now we just need an orbital. Excuse me for 2 seconds. I gotta blow my nose. Possible secret. If I get a bomb, I'll check it. Also, I was saying this before, and I think you missed it, Moonglow. We had a very interesting conversation about neurology. Not on my last stream, but the last stream that Panda was here. We had a very interesting conversation about neurology. Ooh, do I want Vampire's Kiss or this? Take the blind? Yeah, worth it. 99% of gamblers. So we were talking about neurology, specifically dealing with attraction and how attraction works in your brain. That stream was something, to be fucking honest. Dude, it was a weird-ass stream, okay? Because, like, I have a relatively good understanding of how, like, psychological neurology work, like, psychology and neurology works. Just basically due to having enough friends in the field that I can speak on it because I just talk to them. Now, that being said, do I know everything about it? Fuck no, I'm gonna say shit wrong all the time. And I usually warn people, everything I say... Like, everything I say, take with a fucking grain of salt, or a giant fucking ocean of it. Like, some of the stuff talks not necessarily about, like, DID, but, like, like, dissociative disorders. Yeah, I know where super secret rooms are. It'll either be here or here. Nope. So that means it's going to be right there. Most likely. Yep. Full heart. So, like, here's a quick question for you, Moonglow. No, it's not worth it at all, but... Do you know how attraction, love, and or anything like that actually works in the human skull? And, like, what criteria needs to be met for those chemicals to be created to create love and or attraction? So, I'm not necessarily talking about chemicals... Oh, fuck me. Okay, I'm not necessarily talking about chemicals specifically. I'm more talking about, like... Do you know what causes those chemicals to form in the first place? Like, why like what causes those chemicals to form based on what's going on in your surroundings with other people. And it usually boils down to 3 factors. Do you find them... Okay, so here's how we're going to go about this, okay? There are 3 forms of attraction, okay? Emotional, intellectual, and sexual. Okay? Those are the 3 forms of attraction. Now, each of those is a very, very large umbrella of a bunch of other little things underneath of it, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to talk about the 3. We're going to focus on the 3 things, and you can worry about all the tiny little minutia underneath those just 3 massive umbrellas. Intellectual attraction. It is basically finding someone's intellect compatible and or attractive to yourself. So, like, if you are dating someone or you are spending time with someone who is less intelligent than you, some people find it very, very off-putting. I am personally one of those people. I cannot... Why would I use it right now? There's nothing in the shop. Unless it spawns stuff in the shop. If it does, then sure, I'll use it. It works? Okay, cool. So intellectual attraction usually talks about how people find each other intellectually attractive, i.e. their intelligence, what they talk about, what they like. Cool, it does work. I definitely don't want the sharp key. I'll take that. I'll take that. And we're gonna leave. Good to know. I actually did not know that that worked. There's obviously emotional, or also called psychological attraction. I'm gonna save it actually for the devil deal, so I can get a devil deal item for free. Right, so like you can have like emotional or intellectual attraction, but you can also have sexual attraction. Obviously, that's how humans work, for lack of a better term. Right, like, and there's actually some very serious neurological study going into why the Aro-Ace spectrum even exists. Right, and like what has changed in someone's neurology and psychology to cause them to not feel sexual attraction or very little sexual attraction. I will admit I do not know a shit ton about what that is, because I'm not on that spectrum by any stretch of the imagination. I also just got absolutely fucking dummied because I'm spending too much time talking and not focusing on the fight. I don't need range, so we're gonna take that. From my understanding in terms of neurology, and I should very much specify, I do not have legitimate training. Yes. However, what I was going to say is one thing to... So here's the fun part. A lot of the study that goes into sexual attraction, sexual identity, like all of those things, a lot of the neurological study that goes into it is extremely interesting, but it's also somewhat disturbing. So like one of the biggest things that I found, and or not that I found, but that has been found in a couple of journals, and admittedly, some of these journals agree, some of these journals disagree. I'll need to try and find them. I'll try and link them to my Discord just so that people can actually, like, if they want to read them, they can read them. But for the most part, a lot of the things, like, when we talk about certain things, so, like, I agree that there are people that, like, you're allowed to be whoever you want to be. 110%. If you want to transition from being man to woman. Wait, Sooty Raven Discord? Yeah, it's called the Raven's Roost. I thought Panda had sent it to you. Which I felt was very accurate. Did I forget? Very possibly. I think it's a different thing. Actually, no, I know it's a different thing. So here's the thing. So someone who is, so from what I understand, someone who is aro ace, or aromantic, or on the spectrum of that sort of thing, it actually has to do with how their brain, creates, certain chemicals. And a lot of it actually has to do with a dysfunction of how it creates those chemicals. Not saying that being aro ace or on that spectrum is in itself a dysfunction, but that is the language that they use in neurology, rather than like saying like, oh, this person is dysfunctional because this is happening. No, it's specifically called a dysfunction because that part of the brain does not operate in a standard way. Or what we would consider a standard way. So it has nothing to do with people being like, oh, you're, you know, being aro ace is, like, bad. It's not. It's more that it's about how your brain actually, like, functions, and how it interprets information, and how it digests said information, and how it, basically creates all the chemicals. Okay, but see, you can also fundamentally refuse to reproduce because of trauma, because of your own opinions. Right? You can keep those things for their own reason. I'm aro ace and have a child. Exactly. Right? It's not saying that you can't do those things. Right? What I'm talking about is more like the specifics of how your brain creates the chemicals. But see, here's the thing. They found that a lot of people, like when you say like, okay, the average Joe doesn't have trauma. Incorrect. The average Joe does have trauma. Someone who has gone through their life completely untraumatized by anything, is or that they say they have, is either lying to themselves or grew up in an extremely sheltered way, or was excessively lucky, and did in fact grow up completely untraumatized. But I tend to disagree with most of those things. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of people say I don't have trauma, not realizing that they most definitely do. They just didn't know how to process it or understand it. And a lot of the times, what it ends up being... That was to reinforce it. Yeah, I know. I'm just also reinforcing my own statement. So here's the thing that I want to point out. So in terms of attraction, you have mental attraction or intellectual attraction, psychological attraction / emotional attraction, and sexual attraction. Right? Technically... Exactly. No, it makes perfect sense. So essentially, for your brain to start creating the chemical drugs that cause you to feel love and affection and a strong personal bond to another human being, pack bonding is what it's called, at least 2 of those 3 umbrellas need to be reached. Okay? So you need to either find them intellectually stimulating and interesting to be around, and psychologically interesting and emotionally interesting to be around. Okay? Or any of those few things. Okay? Like any combination of those 2 things. However, for a relationship to be stable, you need to have all 3. But for the relationship to start, you only need to have 2. We specifically talked about attraction neurology. Like how, from my understanding, again, I need to specify from my understanding, this is how it works. Now, if anyone out there wants to, like, tell me I'm wrong, please do. That's why I say shit. Is because if I'm wrong, I want to learn that I'm wrong so that I can I can learn. I would rather say something incorrect and be corrected than not. I'm not someone who wants to spread misinformation, I'm someone who wants to learn. Like, if we were talking about biology, specifically, you know, entomology or more specific biological functions of animals, including humans, but more to animals, dude, I will talk nonstop about that shit because I literally went to school for it. So, all people have their own way of suppressing their trauma. My personal way of suppressing it is by considering it a weakness, so I... cut off... consider bad luck. Cool thing, isn't it? And the thing that I find super interesting is the different forms of trauma that happen. Right? So, like... some people do, yep. I personally do not in my vernacular. Though my vernacular, if we actually start talking, will become a lot more complicated, and I will start using big words. What did I go to school for? I went to school, I specifically started in biology, minoring in chemistry. And then I transitioned into a specified biology dealing with entomology, which is insects and slime, essentially. So think like slime molds and like... because insects are fucking fascinating, my guy. Like, you can study so much genetics in like 30 generations of insects in like the span of like a year, rather than needing to wait, you know, 5 to 10 to 8 to 20 years if you want to study genetics in another field, i.e. any other multicellular organism on the planet. Like, it's fascinating. I love genetics. Genetics is absolutely insanely cool. Or an immortal jellyfish? Okay. Hey, here's something really cool, actually, that we're going to talk about right now. Sorry, you just sparked something. Immortal jellyfish aren't actually a thing. They are and they aren't. It's such a misnomer of a sentence that it drives me insane. Okay. I think Prime Disease are incredibly interesting, but they're not cool. They scare me senseless. Oh yeah, they're fucking terrifying. Should try being in a lab where they have some. Ow, you absolute frick. Okay, so immortal jellyfish. Sorry, I got off topic. Immortal jellyfish are extremely interesting because they are not technically immortal. So when we think of immortal, we think it can live forever. It does not live forever. It dies. It just doesn't die permanently. Essentially. What ends up happening is you have a jellyfish, it realizes that, oh god, the environment, the whatever is killing me, I need to, like, I'm gonna die. So it buds off a section of itself called a hydra. A hydra is like one of the first stage forms of its life cycle. And that hydra just fucking floats away on the breeze. And the parent body dies. You're scary, Moonglow. So then that hydra, which has the exact same genetic identity, then lands somewhere safer that it can survive, latches onto a rock, regrows into a jellyfish, and then fucking floats away again. That's it. Kuru is fucking terrifying. Get the fuck out of here. Kuru's a zombie disease, essentially. It turns chimps into zombies. If we're speaking of the same one, I might be thinking of a different one. But... oh hell yeah! Yeah, in humans it's the equivalent of mad cow disease. Yeah, it does some really freaky shit to chimps, though. Hi, Onk. Okay, I'm going to preface this. I do not have a psychology degree. I studied a little bit of psychology in university for fun, but I do not have a psychology degree by any stretch of the imagination. So, we're going to dive into this really, really quickly. I wonder if emotions like greed, pride, lust, etc. are natural emotions in humans, or is it caused by the environment one is in? Both. The simple answer is both. All emotions that we feel are essentially a chemical response in our brain to a certain set of stimuli that our eyeballs, and all of our external senses are sending. Okay? So you feel pride or happiness or love or sadness or any of those emotions, any of the emotions on the fucking flower wheel, on the emotional flower, happen due to external stimuli. Okay? Oh, it's super widely debated. My personal theory, it just fucking depends. Okay? Is anger genetic? In some cases, actually yes. In other cases, no. Right? Anger itself is genetic because it is a panic response that is used to try and keep you safe. Your hindbrain, or your your subconscious hindbrain tends to use anger as a defense mechanism for hurt. And here's the thing. Anytime you feel anger, even if it was a split second, you felt hurt before that anger. That's just how the brain works. There's a specific set of emotional, steps it needs to go through. Right? It is always hurt, anger, sadness. Hurt, anger, sadness. Always. So, when you feel angry, before that, you were hurt. Okay? So, when you were hurt, you go, I need to defend myself. So you get angry. Right? Now, in that moment, it depends, right? Because in that moment, yes, anger in and of itself is genetic. It is genetically built into us to be able to get angry to protect ourselves. And it is why when people who cannot get angry because there is a neurological condition that stops people from being angry, it is actually considered either a genetic defect or a very serious issue in the neurological part of the brain that causes that. And they actually usually want to fucking fix it. Because it essentially means that your early warning system, or I'm in fucking danger, doesn't work. Also, I apologize how much I'm blowing my nose. Our grass is going absolutely apeshit outside, so my hay fever is just going ballistic in response. However, the way that you use your anger is taught by nurture. It is nature for us to be able to get angry. It is nurture for us to use that anger in specific ways. That is my opinion. All humans get angry. Some humans have more patience, or some humans are better at understanding why they're angry and what to do with said anger. Shot speed down is actually pretty good for... But in reality, if you can't get angry, it is actually quite a big problem. Ow. Get the fucking bomb little bastards out. Excuse you, how did that not hit you? Excuse me? Sorry. What? I wonder if there was a study conducted on if Machiavellian characteristics emerge consistently in survival scenarios, because personally I think it's pretty much guaranteed for it to emerge no matter how little. 110%. Humans are completely self-serving, and that is just how we work. Okay? A lot of people don't like to admit it. Humans are extremely, extremely self-serving. And yes, 100%. Yes, because you want to further your genetic code over anyone else's. That's legitimately why humans are greedy. Like, there is... I did goof, I realized that. Fuck. Ugh. Too busy talking. What's the one that makes me restart the floor? Is that Plan C? I don't know how to activate. Someone told me to try and do it, and I went and looked for it, and I couldn't find it, so I just left it alone. Damn it. We're just gonna keep going back in time, people. Is it just gonna keep bringing me back to this place? Yeah, looks like our key. Why does it not like that? I'm sure it is. I'm just not going to do it right at this very minute. I will do it at the end of stream. Alrighty. So, we're not going to be doing anything. If I get a planetarium, I'm not allowed to open it. Or take it, at least. I haven't gotten one yet. And we're just going to rush back down to our place that we need to go. Can't pick up those either. Oh, I don't need to go down these yet. Also, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give myself Mama Mega for every floor. Just so I can just race through it. I'm not allowed to pick anything up, though. Okay, I've got the first knife piece, so I don't need to do that. Really? Oh, fuck. I didn't want to... I should have realized that would cause that. Alright. Chat, you guys get to decide. Am I allowed to take stuff from the angel room or no? While you guys decide that, I'm gonna run upstairs real quick. Grab myself a snack. I'll even leave Sammy here to talk to you guys. Oh, it's been a while, Sammy. Get to talk to the people. Panda, whenever I come back to this chat, and I've left Sammy here, it honest to God looks like you're having a full-blown, like, delusion. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of pills. Oh! Sure. We're just fucking it. We're just saying fuck it and just going. I don't even know what that is. DRM software? So I will state something right now. I am not very computer savvy, like at all. Which I find very ironic as somebody who... Okay, so do I take Marrow or in? Ah. We've got the poop. Could have taken Brimstone. Fuck. I wanted the store credit. Correction, you could work for the CIA if you live in the States. Ooh, I want Ram's Horn. Or Curved Horn, sorry. Hey, at this rate, we might actually get to boss rush. I mean, to be fair, it makes sense. It's why a lot of hackers are employed by companies like that in the first place. Like, if you can already break our software, then, you know all its vulnerabilities, so why wouldn't they hire you to, I don't know, maybe help them make the software harder to break? I've clicked all 3 buttons, why can't I use the rail cart? Oh, it's because it's open. Oh man, this could actually fuck me. Mama Mega could fuck me. Oh good, it on stuff again. Ouch. Oh yeah, it's pretty screwy. Weedoo, weedoo, weedoo. Bye-bye, Mada. Like 10 times smaller than it looks like. I know, it looks like it should be fucking massive, and then it's like, you can dodge certain things, and it's like, what? Ow, you absolute fucking rude little bastards. Ooh, let me go with that. And this. And we're gonna fight the boss just because. Flight and HP up. Perfect! Like that. Flight's nice. Also, my chat keeps reconnecting and disconnecting, so if I'm missing stuff in chat, I apologize. I'll refresh chat in just a second. That would be super nice, honestly. Yeah, being able to actually like have that stuff and be able to update it is always super nice, and it does actually aggravate me quite a bit that they don't do it more. Because I mean, like, look at Repentance. Repentance started out as a freaking mod, which is crazy. Right, I have flight. What mods? Just out of curiosity. Oh no, we haven't done this one. So we need to actually... I need to actually do this. I can't just Mama Mega my way through it. I haven't actually played this one. God, that would suck. Every single curse, every single floor. You absolute fucking masochist. I don't know about that, Panda. I don't know if you'd hate being a masochist. Now I'm just taking free shots, I'm sorry. True, yeah, that would definitely be something that is nice. The XL floors would definitely make it, like, high risk, high reward. For sure. And that in and of itself can be fun. Fuck this guy right here. I'm gonna pay you. God damn, could you actually, like, give me something, bro? Jesus. I remember coding that mod was such a pain in the ass because half the floors in the game legit just make the game crash or soft lock it if it's an XL floor. Oh, weird. Why was that? I am spun. I am the drugs. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense, yeah. That makes sense that it would have absolutely no idea what to do. That's sort of... I never even thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense. Oh my god, that would be terrible. The void would become fucking unbearable. How does rubber cement work with this? Does it work with it? Also, I want another snack. How does rubber cement work with TechX? Or does it work with TechX? Oh god, that's funny. Hmm. One move. I've always found the modding community and like people that code in general for like stuff like that insanely interesting. It's so cool. Because I myself am absolutely terrible at coding. I'm astronomically bad at coding. I like it, but I'm bad at it. My problem when I try to code is that I try to have the most solid foundation possible before I fully learn coding, so I legit want to learn assembly before I fully Python, etc. I really gotta get a new keyboard. Dude, you're crazy if you want to learn assembly. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, like, you're actually, like, you're fucking nuts. Obsessed with Terry Davis. Yes. Steam sale. I have so many little minions. You got your summer break now? That's fun. Yeah. Dude, assembly is difficult. And I say that as someone who kind of, like, does actually understand coding. Like, I have a lot of friends that code, and I do understand it. I just also think people are crazy when they're like, I'm gonna learn assembly. Because it is just, it's functionally, you're nuts. I'm sorry, you're nuts. Oh my god, because I've got the ability to drop coins, but I've also got Sackhead, my tiers are dropping sacks. I just realized that. Oh, that's broken. Backpack! Dude, I have a hyperfixation for engineering and code optimization, and I shit just gotta learn assembly or I would go crazy. That's fair. In read assembly, every software is open source. Bro. I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Agreed. Python's pretty easy. And I say that genuinely, like I've learned Python for the most part. Oh, it's nuts. I most definitely understand that it's crazy that he did that. I don't know, personally, at that point in time, why wouldn't you just start trying to make your own game? Fuck this bastard. Can't draw. Don't need to be able to. Mainly because I haven't tried. There you go. If you haven't tried, you don't know if you can succeed. I wasn't even looking, to be fair. I was just like running away and I ran into the item spawn. Yeah, let's hear him. Yeah, when I was in high school and we did a bunch of coding, that was usually what we did. Like, we had normally every group of people was running, like, you know, everyone's coding, everyone's doing some visuals, everyone's doing some music, like, because we had to make a game. That was our thing for computer science high school. And my group was the only one that actually went, no, we're treating this like an actual thing. You know, this person's going to do level design, this person's going to do this person's going to do this. These two people are going to do the coding because they're the best at it. Right? And and the way that they code is very, very similar. So it makes it easier for them to read each other's code. I will read that in just a second, sorry. I had an item called Restored Heart. It was the opposite of Heartbreak, of the Heartbreak item that meant to be with Magic Skin. What it does is that it removes a broken heart and gives you back your heart. So if you use it with Magic Skin, well, what would be the downside? That you would need to find both Magic Skin and it at the same time. It was like a 12-room charge. That also would definitely do it.
Health up.
Yeah, it would be one of those ones where, like, you get it and it's like, holy shit, if this actually, like, if all the right cards fall, it's fucking broken. Yeah, Magic Skin does hunt you down. Ooh, that's actually a really interesting idea for an item. 12 room charge, you just got free bombs, free... I actually quite like that idea. That is actually a pretty dope idea.
Experimental pill.
I fuck with that. Idol of Midas. Yeah. Oh man, the fact that I can double slap her. Absolutely golden. Look at how much fucking coinage happened. Ooh, that's actually pretty cool. I like that idea too, Panda. Yeah, except for Boss Rush. Give me 2 seconds, guys. It is 12:05. I think I'm gonna try and do one more run and then I'll head out. Because I learned that I finally got accepted to go to one of the craft shows that I applied for. So, and that happens in a week. So I gotta fucking skedaddle to try and get all of my shit made. Yeah, they let me know a week before the show. So I'm a little peeved about that one. But... yeah, so I'm a little irked about that. That they were like, oh yeah, by the way, you're coming to this show. Here's your week's notice. Like, thanks, asshole. Not a whole lot. I'm just saying I'm gonna do one more run, probably. Trying to get to boss rush. I just need to fix something real quick. There we go. So we're gonna try and do Lazarus to boss rush, and then I'm gonna call it quits. Because it is very late in the day for me. And I need to, Ooh, do we want Apple or Gimpy? I like Gimpy. Of course you want the Gimp map. Hey, I gotta stop. I'm sorry, Panda. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm just not filtering anything that comes out of my mouth. Ah! I was expecting it. Of course you were expecting it. Hey, I'm not tired enough to start speaking Spanish, though, so we're good. Yeah, I've had a lot of coffee today already. Most definitely has not helped my situation. Grab that secret. Will do. Also, where are you from, Daniel? Just out of curiosity. Daniel is a very anglicized name, so... Palestine? Hmm. Well, I hope you're staying safe. Christian villages in Palestine. I guess, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. That's fair, at least. At least it's safer. I am a very, very ignorant Canadian, so... So I apologize if I say anything insensitive, but... Ugh. I heard something a little while ago that just really made me laugh. It was like... If the States does try to do anything where they're like, we're coming to Canada and whatever, like invading or like wanting to be Canada, what did they say, like the 52nd state or whatever the fuck it was? Whatever the that was like literally every 51st, thank you. Literally every single Canadian that I knew was just like, I'd like to see them fucking try. And it was like, what are the... Yeah, exactly. I know, I'm fucking tired. But it was so funny. Everyone was like, oh, what are they gonna do? And one of my friends was like, dude, did you not, like, learn anything about World War II? He was like, Canada literally is the reason for the Geneva Convention. Like, legitimately, I don't know if people realize this if they haven't studied World War II history. Canada is the reason for the Geneva Convention. Like, 90% of the stuff that's on the Geneva Convention is because of Canada. Outside of using fucking mustard gas. I need to find an honorary support Canadian to adopt me. How are you doing, Danny Lynn? I don't love history. I actually suck at history. But I do know a lot about World War II, because my grandfather, or my great-grandfather, fought in it. Or, sorry, he fought in World War I. But I don't hate history. I just eh. I am impartial to it. The only time Hey, do it, man. Gotta start somewhere. I've actually found that one of the easiest ways for myself to stay motivated and that's totally true. But yeah, like, I find it so funny. Everyone's like, just ask about the Canadians throwing food to people across the trenches. Honestly, I think the UK is frickin' not bad. Not great, but not bad. I mean, if you're willing to learn how to speak Dutch, I think the Netherlands has probably one of the better education systems in terms of, like, Ireland's super cool. I have never been, but my family is from there. CGP Grey. If you know who CGP Grey is, he literally was an American that was like, fuck this, I'm going to the Netherlands because education. And he learned Dutch just so he could teach and, like, learn and study there. Which I thought was absolutely... Based. But still, fuck the Dutch. Dude, how do you think I feel about English? Dude, English is one of the worst languages. That's a pretty good one. My favorite one is English is 3 languages in a trench coat looking for a 4th to kidnap and consume. I love German. It's so unserious and funny. Dude, you and me have a different version of German. But then again, most of the people that I know that speak German are all like old farmers, so they just predominantly just sound angry all the time. Oh, my favorite Schmetterling. Yeah. No, my favorite German word is ambulance. Krankenwagen, yeah. Krankenwagen. It literally just is sick wagon. It literally just means sick wagon. It's a little bit different, but yes, you are correct. Well, but see, that's the thing though, is English is a Germanic language, which no one would fucking realize because we have so many fucking romanticized languages in our vocabulary. Like, if you read, like, Spanish, you can pick out more words in Spanish than you can in German. Yet, Spanish and English are, like, not even close to being on the same branch of the language tree. Closer than some, sure. It's not like it's like Indo-African. Mainly German and Latin. Yeah. I unironically have a friend that speaks Latin. I quite seriously and unironically have a friend that speaks Latin. And his logic for learning how to speak Latin, though, is something else. Francis cringe sincerely Dutch French heritage. No, his logic for learning Latin was, he's a linguist. Ooh. I'm gonna go with sulfur. I like sulfur. He's a linguist, so the reason he learned Latin was specifically to use it in learning other languages as well as how the fuck am I supposed to get out of that situation? Yeah, but the friend that I'm talking about is also, like, hilariously polylingual. Like, I think the last time I talked to him, he spoke 17 languages. Fluently, like legitimately fluently. Not like, oh, I can speak it here. Like, dude is terrifyingly polylingual. And, like, lots of them are on, like, wildly different trees. Now he needs a trench coat. Yeah, he really does. Like, the last time I talked to him, he spoke English, French, Spanish, Italian, German. He does speak Arabic. He does speak Mandarin. He speaks Japanese. He speaks Punjabi. He speaks, Swahili. I think he speaks Dutch. And he speaks a couple other, African languages that I can't remember. His whole goal... I don't know. That I genuinely don't. Knowing him, he probably does know dialects. Because that's just his obsession. His obsession is languages. I would guess that he knows dialect. I know he knows at least 4 different Japanese dialects. And I know that he knows at least, like, 3 or 4 African dialects as long as the main language. So I wouldn't be surprised if he knew some Arabic dialects as well. Yeah, no, and his whole reason was, I just want to be able to go anywhere in the world and talk to somebody. That was his logic. No other reason. Like, when I initially met him in school... When I initially met him in school, like, in university, like, he had no plans of becoming a linguist. He was like, he was just learning languages because he wanted to learn languages, because then he could talk to people. And, like, forgive me for saying it like this, but talk about, like, the most autistic way to think about it. I'm uncomfortable talking to people, so I'm going to learn every language I possibly can, so I am stuck needing to talk to people. Like, genuinely, that was his way of dealing with his social anxiety. His way of dealing with his social anxiety is going to make sure... It was going to make sure that no matter who's talking, I can talk to them. So either they don't feel left out, or... Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. He also speaks a couple First Nation languages. That's what it is. Like he speaks some Canadian, indigenous languages. I know he speaks Cree. For sure. I know he speaks Cree. For sure. And I think he speaks one of the Inuit languages. I can't remember. I have no idea what Linear B is. If what you're asking is, have I ever heard that sentence from him? No, I have never heard that sentence from him. What is Linear B? And he does know sign language too, I should mention that. Oh. Actually, what kind of sign language? He knows ASL and JSL. Though apparently when he speaks ASL, he has a really weird accent, according to everybody. Yeah. Sorry, when I say speak, I mean sign. When he uses ASL... How do you have a weird accent? Just, you use signs slightly differently. The signs vary by region. They do, yep. And a lot of the times his JSL, which is Japanese Sign Language, runs into his ASL at times because they have... Sometimes they'll have similar signs, but they mean very different things. And it always gets... It's actually gotten him into trouble before. Because he'll sign something and forget that it's a JSL symbol, or a JSL sign, and someone will just be, like, really fucking confused or annoyed with him. I don't know, he always laughs about it. It's like, this is funny. That is very funny. It is extremely interesting. It's the same way when he speaks English. Like, he has the oddest accent now. Yeah, I've heard that. Stop Killing Games movement. Super good. But yeah, like that friend of mine now. That surprises me, actually. That surprises me that he would be... Oh yeah, Nintendo deserves a whole bunch of shit that's... But Pirate Software? Really? That seems very not like him. I'd love to see that, actually. Like not calling you wrong by any stretch of the imagination. But that seems very interesting to me, because he seems like he's usually pretty... I definitely don't think he needs the 15 minutes of fame. He's actually quite a famous human being. Interesting. And who knows, maybe, like, and that could just be his opinion as well. Oh god, fuck it, Libra, let's go. That can just be his opinion, too. Like, that's the thing. Right? Everyone has their own opinions about how things should be done and run. I think that, yes, if the company is going to kill the game, it should be handed over to the people that enjoy the game and want to keep playing it. And that's just how it is, then. It'll lose him some followers, it'll lose him some fans, but in reality, I don't think... But in reality, it's his decisions and his choices. That's one thing that I've never understood, is people get super mad at, like... There's so many people that get mad about, like, oh, this person said this, or this person did that, and it's like, guys do realize that it really doesn't matter in the... I'm curious. I'm gonna go look that up afterwards. Like legitimately, I'm gonna go look that up afterwards. I don't doubt it. Charlie is hilarious, and he's probably one of the better people to actually, like, talk about stuff like that, because he's pretty straightforward. I love how Charlie has always been involved in, like, so many fucking controversies, and he's just like, yeah, fuck it, what you gonna do about it? Like, his whole attitude towards shit like that is just hilarious. The amount of times that people were like, I'm starting some beef, and he's like, aight. Okay. Like, he just does not give two fucks, ever. And it's so funny. And, like, the funniest part about that, too, is, like... Yeah, I don't know. The only stuff that I've ever seen of Pirate Softwares are, like, a lot more of his, like, educational stuff, talking about coding and, like, talking about, like, how, like, certain things work. With, like, that sort of thing. So I've never really been a part of his streams or, like, seen any of, like, more in-depth him. He does have a High Horse vibe, and that's very possible. I've just never seen it because I've never really, like, been there in the first place. Do I agree with some of the things that Pirate Software has done? Oh yeah, 110% I have. Like, the fact that he's trying to get benefits and, like, stuff for, like, the mods of his stream. That's awesome. But yeah, like, everyone's got an ego. Everyone can do good things and bad things. And that doesn't necessarily preclude... The good things don't necessarily preclude the bad things, and the bad things don't necessarily preclude the good things. Right? I tend to try and, like, take everything in stride and, like, look at the whole picture. Right? Like, sure, maybe he said something that was really bad and was not good. Right? That doesn't discount the fact that he might have also done something really good in his past as well. right? Like, I try to look at things as a whole. It's like, yeah, you've done something bad, but you've also done something good. They don't cancel each other out. It's just an acknowledgement that you're not maybe a shitty person. It's just that your opinion on this one thing is kind of crappy. And that's just how I try and, like, function in the world. PhD, baby! We're gonna Yara the Gulp pick this one up. I don't want Blasting Cap. However, if we find another trinket, I will just gulp it. Yeah, that's a little much, I will admit. Again, I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna give my opinion on it. I agree. 110%, and I also don't think that it should work the other way around either. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's all about fairness and balance, right? Sure, you can do a lifetime of good, and a lot of people will say that one bad deed should ruin it, and I disagree. 110%. It depends on the scale of the deed, obviously, right? But then it also scales on the deed of, like, the good deed that you did as well, right? It also depends on the severity of good. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think it makes sense to have, oh, like, the smallest good deed, you know, doesn't outweigh a bad deed, but the smallest bad deed outweighs, like, the biggest good deed you ever did. I think that is the stupidest shit ever. Again, but that's what I'm saying, Panda. Is I don't think it should be, like, either or. If someone does a bad deed, great, cool. How many bad deeds have they done in their life? 1? Great, cool. How many good deeds have they done in their life? 20? Good, cool. Does the bad deed preclude and make the good deed... Like, do the bad deeds still outweigh the good deeds? It depends on how good they are. Sorry, I'm speaking quickly, and this is just how my brain functions a lot of the time. Again, I am not disagreeing. But I'm not saying one really heinous bad deed. I'm talking about just a standard, you know, you say something kind of shitty to somebody. Does that ruin the whole thing? Because if that's the case, then I'm never going to be... Because I have opinions on things, and I vocally share those opinions. See, that's where we get into philosophy, though. Because what if blowing up that one country is what also causes you to save the world? Yeah, it's like killing one person to save 10. I don't know, because, like, I mean, Panda, you already know what a lot of my social opinions are on things, because I'm pretty totalitarian. Yeah, it's the trolley problem. I agree. No, I'm not saying I agree with him at all. I agree. Fuck him. If that's how he's gonna do it, I agree. 110%. No. Like, the only point that I was trying to make in all of this was that there's so many times that people say one bad deed outdoes like every good deed you've ever done in your life. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep saying it really depends on the bad deed. Because it's like, okay, is it a bad deed to steal food to try and feed your family? Legally, yeah, it is. Legally, that is a bad idea to steal. However, morally, I disagree. Because guess what? Most local bakeries, at least where I live, would just fucking give it to you. So most people don't steal from local bakeries. They just fucking ask. Yes, and I agree. This is a hypothetical. That's what I would say. Okay, that's fair. Anyway, yeah, like the point... See, and here's the thing. I think that even then, it still has, like, a sliding scale of, like, what counts and what doesn't. Because, I'm sorry, if... And this is... As someone who came from a family who owned a small mom-and-pop business, ours was candy. Oh, fuck, I just killed myself. Ours was making candy, but still, if someone stole from us, yeah, it sucks for us. It genuinely sucks. However, a lot of the times, the logic that we had was, okay... You know, if it's somebody stealing to get, like, money for drugs, yeah, fuck them. But we had a couple times where it was literally people, like coming out to the shop to see if there was any, like, scrap metal that they could sell. Because they literally were just trying to get enough money to have, like, supper. And this genuinely happened. Because they were just trying to get some money to have food. And the guy wasn't shitty either. He was actually quite a nice guy, but just struggling. Yeah, no, agreed. If that is actually what happens, then yeah. For sure, fuck him. Doesn't matter what he did, like, it's... Misrepresenting stuff is not good. And yeah, had he come out and said, like, hey, I fucked up, then it's a different story. I don't know, I probably will look into the whole clusterfuck, just because that's how I work. Oh, fuck. I apologize, guys. I did not realize what time it was. I need to be, like, getting off of here, like, ASAP. So, I'm gonna go find somebody to raid. Moonglow, if you're on, you're gonna get raided. I'm glad you did too, Danny. Real quick, guys, before I take off, for those people who are new, I do also have a YouTube channel. It's called The Sooty Raven Gaming. It's mostly just my past streams. There's a couple edited videos on there, but other than that, it's mostly past streams. If you want to go and subscribe or check it out, that would be really helpful to me. Other than that, I also have an Instagram that is mostly all of my business stuff, i.e. blacksmithing and creation and like that sort of thing. And then obviously I have Twitch, you guys are here. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. If you are on YouTube, please give it a like, subscribe, interact with the video. If you want to check us out at Twitch, hang out live with a couple of people. It's same thing, it's the Sooty Raven. And yeah, we're gonna go and... No problem, Moonglow. And thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I had a really fun time today. But we're gonna go drop you guys off to somebody else who's streaming. Have a good day, guys. Toodaloo and bye-bye.